Hey everyone, I'm here joined by our investigative unit, investigative reporter Candice Nguyen and investigative producer Kevin Nious. They've been working on a lot of projects, a lot of investigations throughout this pandemic, but right now they're looking into how the school districts here in the Bay Area are spending all that federal money they received during the pandemic. So Candice, what is this investigation all about?
So we're looking at schools across California receiving federal stimulus money to get through pandemic and help kids learn. And they have gotten a lot of money. The data that we've crunched the last several weeks shows they've received $26 billion to help kids catch up in schools. And we actually found that a lot of these schools still have a lot of this unspent money either sitting there, or sometimes they're saying they haven't received it yet. So we had a lot of questions. What's happening with all this money? How are they spending this money? How are they not spending this money? And we're answering these questions, and that's what's coming up.
Okay, so what exactly did you find out?
Yeah, well, we found out that different districts had different challenges. And so some of the districts spent the money on food. That was one of the main priorities, learning resources and devices like tablets, laptops. That was pretty much universally one of the very large expenses. But then something else we found that was really interesting is that there was one category that we saw a lot of districts sometimes that was their number one expenditure, and that was money to keep workers unemployed. So we found out that the pandemic had a lot of ripple effects in where there was a lot of school employees who were not teachers who didn't have much to do. We're talking people like bus drivers. Districts had after school programs set up, which were not as useful since there's no school to have an after school. And so a lot of the money had to go to pay for these salaries for these employees who didn't have much to do.
Is anyone overlooking this? I mean, is there any oversight? How are they making sure that the districts spend the money properly?
The federal government requires with this money that these school districts, they have to report how they're spending this money once a quarter. So every 3 months, they have to say, here's how much you gave me, here's how much we spent, here's what we have left over. And if the districts don't have, if they haven't spent all the money by the deadlines that the federal government has set up, they have to give that money back.
Oh.
And some of those deadlines have already passed. So we're trying to find out if some of those districts, if they had to give that money back, or did they get an extension on that? So that's one of the questions that we have. In addition to that, one of the agencies that is actually looking into this to see if, okay, you reported you spent all this money on nutrition and to resources for students, but is that actually where it went? And so the state auditor is actually auditing some of these school districts to try to get an idea of all the money that went out there. Did it go where they said it was going to go, and did it end up helping kids in the classroom?
Here in California, our schools are locally controlled for the most part. So if people have questions about their school districts, policy analysts, they tell us you should really go to your school board. It's the school boards. Those members are elected. They're the ones who really handle, decide, and are supposed to oversee how their own school district spends their money.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to ask you, if parents are looking at your reporting and they're like, I want to know what my school district is spending their money on, they have to then contact the school board.
Yes, they can go to the school board. You can ask these questions to your school district, to your board members that the community elects. Now, if you're having problems there or you want more information, we've also taken the data that we've analyzed and we posted it online. It's going to be online after our two-part story airing this weekend, and we put the data on there where you can put in your own school district and find out how much money they received, how much they've spent, what they spent it on, and also how much they have left unspent right now.
Parents can learn more about this investigation. Like they mentioned, it's going to be airing this weekend. Please let them know what time and how they can find it.
Yeah, it's going to air on Saturday, right before Saturday Night Live in our newscast, as well as Sunday night after football. And as always, it'll be on our website on NBCBayArea.com.
All right, well, thank you so much, Candice and Kevin. Looking forward to seeing what these schools are spending their money on.